Okay, so here we are at the end of May, heading back to Portugal to get my grass cut, and this time I'm bringing my ladies with me. It's a bit of a long journey to be travelling in cat boxes, so I've adapted a small dog travel cage, made it a little bit bigger, put in an extra floor for them, and a bit of carpet to make them comfortable. And they're both wearing their collars so that I can put them under lead and take them out for walks when we find a quiet spot to stop for the evenings. I did plan to stop every hour or so just to open the door, feed them, give them some fresh air, talk to them for a little bit, and they did quite well on the journey. When we stopped in some of the airs coming down through France, we were able to get them out, stay overnight, take them for a walk in the late evening when there was nobody around with dogs. The journey was going great until we crossed the border into Spain near Burgos. The car decided to burst a water pipe and break down. So we had to wait 3 hours for a recovery truck to come and get us. So that was the end of the driving. The ladies were quite comfortable though. Just opened the door, getting up some fresh air. And the traffic didn't bother them at all. We got towed to a local garage. That's a totally different story which I'll tell you in another video. Needless to say, they weren't very helpful. It was Friday evening, late afternoon, and oh, we're just about to close. There was a hotel about half a mile down the road. I didn't even get offered a lift there. Basically, take what you can carry from the car and go. So of course in my case that was the cats and their food and nothing else. And carrying that cage was not in the least bit fun. They weren't able to give me a time frame for how long they thought it might take to fix the car or even look at it. So the insurance company were very good. They arranged for 2 taxis, and that got me all the way back to the end of my lane back in Portugal. The second taxi was a lovely lady and her teenage son. When we got to my place it was very dark and she didn't want to drive down the lane, which, being a taxi driver myself for a while, I quite understood. So the last half hour was a walk. I think I made it about 50 yards before I opened the cage and threw the big cat out. She does follow me, so she was quite happy to follow me all the way back down to the farm. Little madam is, in case you're worried, she's in the shade where there's a little breeze that runs through this between the trees. She's a lot happier today than she was yesterday. She was quite hot yesterday. At one point I was very worried about her. But at the minute she's not panting, she's got a slight breeze comes through there and she's in the shade. The big cat, she's just gone off somewhere to lie in the sun. She's an idiot. But she comes when she's called, so she's got sort of free range. Muggin's here. As soon as she gets out she tries to bolt. So she's fine at night in bed, inside the tent with me. She comes out of the cage and I do walk her on a leash when it gets cooler, but unfortunately until she learns not to run off, she's confined to quarters. Okay, so I've just given her some cool, clean water. She's quite happy in there, no signs of any panting, no signs of any stress. I decided to go and see where the big cat had gone, assuming she's sunbathing somewhere. While I was doing that, I left the tent door open. It's actually like an oven in there. And when I opened the door, Hello, madam. It is too warm in there for you. You're going to have to come out because you are panting. Now I've just brought her out of the tent, and the first thing she does, she's trying to get back in. You're not getting in the tent. It's too warm. She's about 18 or 20 years old, and I was very worried about her. I even mentioned to the vet about moving her to a warm climate, and she's having no trouble at all. A little bit of panting now. She's just been in the tent. She does have a few spots around in the shade where she'll go and lie. But she doesn't go too far, and she comes when she's called. Yeah, she just likes to be beside Daddy as well though. She's a big softie. Doesn't matter what I'm doing around the place, she's never more than 8 to 10 feet from my side, almost like she's protecting me. Her name is Cat, spelt C-A-T, and the kitten, her name is Cat, spelt K-A-T. Originally this old girl was my mother's cat, and she started to get dementia. Can't remember things. Cat did have a name, but my mum couldn't remember what it was, so it was Cat, get off that shelf. Cat, get out of there. Cat, stop doing that. So the name kind of stuck, just to keep it the same. That's how I named the little cat as well. On the third day, I tied the kitten to her cage with a long leash so that she could come out if she wanted to. One of the neighbours phoned me and offered to take me into town, and I saw her in the cage and I thought, yep, she'll be fine. I forgot the cage was actually open, so she'd obviously came out, pulled herself out of her collar and was missing. I called her name, and within about 30 seconds she came running, which I was very glad about. It's not as if somebody could have picked her up and brought her back, because she's always been antisocial with other people. The last time I went to Portugal for 3 weeks, my friend, who called in twice a day to feed the cats, never even saw the kitten. As soon as somebody came to the door, they were lucky if they saw a white flash as she disappeared off the hide. This is her first time in the trees, first time she's seen trees. Unfortunately, the magpies don't like her. They know that they obviously sense that she's a killer. If it moves, she will catch it. So they're mobbing her and trying to get her out of the tree. I have checked, that's my pear tree, and there are no nests in the tree. The magpies just don't want her up there where they can't keep an eye on her as easily. Now, the older cat, the magpies will come down and eat even when she's sitting there. She'll actually lie beside the cage, and the magpies will come down and eat the leftover food that the cats haven't eaten. I set it up on top for the magpies. The kitten, she is a killer. If it moves, she'll kill it. Grasshoppers, lizards, mice. I don't mind too much because she actually eats what she catches. Occasionally it does make her sick. Back in the UK here, she would catch rats. She'll always come and show me she's caught something, but she won't let me take it off her. It's her prize, her food, and she's not giving it to anybody. And when the older cat used to hunt, which hasn't been about 4 or 5 years, she would catch a mouse and she would bring it in, and it was my gift. The kitten, not a chance. The older cat, she's very vocal. She likes to have conversations and be in the middle of everything. When my girlfriend phones every night round about the same time, if she's upstairs sleeping, she'll come downstairs just to talk to my girlfriend on the phone. And she also likes to annoy the ants. She will find their trail and just plonk herself right down in the middle of them. She's got that thick fur that they can't actually bite her. and she'll just lie there and make them walk around. The biggest problem that they've had since they got to Portugal is the ambient temperature. But they've both found their own little spots where they can go and lie down in the shade and in the cool. The older one, she'll lie under the caravan. The younger one, she'll go and lie down beside the stream under the shade of the trees or under the grapevines. But one thing I have noticed is they are actually more social with each other. Back home, the big cat wouldn't tolerate the kitten too close. Now they'll actually go and lie down together. If I'm on the farm, they'll actually walk along behind me, or the little one, she normally runs in front and the big one follows. If I go for a walk or I have to go to the shops, they'll follow me to the gate, and I can say stay, and they'll stay. When I come back, the big one, I don't know if she hears me coming back and she goes to the gate, or if she actually stayed at the gate the whole time. But when I get back, she's there waiting for me. They're very protective of me. I got a few chickens for a little while. Anytime the chickens came near, the cats would come and place themselves between me and the chickens. And even when my neighbour, who's in his 80s, came to his piece of land, they stayed between me and him, and even when we were trying to have a conversation, the cats were trying to stay between us to keep us separate. We're back in the UK now for a couple of months, and the old cat, she's became a house cat again, doesn't like to go out, but they're definitely going back to Portugal with me, and I'll keep you updated.